everything can change in a matter of days. It was all good just a week ago. We beat up on the Chicago Sky a few days ago. 35-point victory. Caitlin Clark triple-double. Indiana Fever riding high. Indiana Fever fans riding high. Caitlin Clark supporters riding high. And then, of course, the dweebs do what the dweebs do. They make up nonsense. They make up lies. And the WNBA validate the lies. The WNBA validates the nonsense. The WNBA validates non-truths.
The Indiana Fever have officially had enough. No more smiles. No more silence. They're threatening to boycott the entire WNBA, and they're calling it out for what it is. Straight up lies. Not whispers. Not rumors. Lies. But here's the wild part. Nobody's saying what those lies actually are, which makes it even more suspicious. The energy behind the scenes feels tense, like the Fever knows something explosive that the league is desperate to keep buried. Is this a bold power play? Or the spark of a scandal that could shake the WNBA to its core? One thing's for sure, this storm is only just beginning.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. This dump, this turd of turds known as the WNBA, this damn league can't get the hell out of their own way. They don't get it. They just don't get it. The diva of dump divas, Kat Engelbert, she does not understand how fragile this fan base is. And by fragile, I'm referring to their level of loyalty to pretend basketball, which in this case doesn't exist.
Strap in, because if you thought WNBA drama ended at the buzzer, think again. This story is messier than that breakup text you never answered. Here's the scoop. The Indiana Fever, powered by the electrifying, unstoppable Caitlin Clark, aren't just a basketball team, they're the WNBA's golden goose, the money maker, the ticket everyone's fighting for. We're talking skyrocketing ticket prices, arenas packed to the rafters, sellout after sellout, and wave after wave of new fans flooding in. The Fever are more than a team, they're the heartbeat, the spotlight, the energy boost the WNBA has been begging for.
I think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should.
And yet, instead of celebrating this momentum, the league and its loyal diehards are painting the Fever as the villains. The so-called bad apples spoiling the basket. Why? Because Fever fans dared to cheer too loud, to show a little too much passion? Because Caitlin Clark had the audacity to put a strong, clean body check on Angel Reese? Please, let's call it what it is. Double standards and thin skin. The same grit and fire that would be praised in any other league suddenly becomes controversial when Clark and the Fever bring it. And the narrative? Twisted to make them look like the problem.
Started all of this.
It's a flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
Okay, that was it. That noise you heard right there that sounds a little bit like a dolphin was actually a YouTuber called Flight Reacts. A laugh. All right, a laugh that it's my understanding actually gets played during NBA games too. That's what it's all about, because they tried to say that sounded like a monkey.
Let's rewind this drama and roll it like a full-blown reality show episode. Angel Reese, queen of the side-eye, master of the smirk, sets the stage. She shoves a Fever player first, a not-so-subtle nudge to the back of the head that basically screams, "I run this court, and I'll get away with it." Then Caitlin Clark responds the only way competitors do, with a clean, fair foul. Nothing dirty, nothing extra, just basketball. But suddenly, the script flips. Fever fans are painted as villains, the crowd labeled toxic, and the league rushes to spin conspiracy theories about racism in the stands. Meanwhile, Angel? She's crowned the untouchable martyr, the protected face of a narrative that keeps painting Clark and the Fever as the aggressors, when all they're really guilty of is playing hard and winning attention the league can't control.
Television, it's been the most polarizing conversation in all of sports over the last over the last 24 hours rather. Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted, but Slick, do you have an issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul?
Yes, and I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved.
The irony? It's almost too rich. Fever fans are the only ones packing arenas, dropping cash on jerseys, and literally keeping the league's lights on. They're not just supporters, they're the financial backbone of the WNBA right now. Meanwhile, the rest of the league sits on the sidelines like a bitter audience, watching their own ratings crumble while one superstar and her team steal the spotlight. The Fever are carrying the show, and everyone else knows it. They just don't want to admit it.
Really thankful. They continue to show up for us, and they make a lot of noise. Like, they're into it. They're not just sitting there. Like, they're invested in this basketball. It's great for our league. It's great for every team that gets to come and play here. I think we've had a lot of great battles, and they've helped us win a lot of games on this floor. So, like I said, hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here and give them a taste of it because they deserve it. It's been since 2016. So, it's only going to get better and better from here on.
You can almost hear the whispers. We want Caitlin to succeed. But not like that. Not while the Fever fans exist. Translation: we want the league to grow, but only if it fits the script of victimhood and manufactured drama. It's like the WNBA collectively decided that the best way to handle rising popularity is to burn the house down, starting with the very team that's keeping the lights on. And here's the kicker.
Flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark. Listen, I was at the game. If there was somebody being racist or saying shit, obviously boot him, never let him back. I would be stunned beyond belief if that was the case. This crowd, I've sat on the wood for a million games, been in a million environments. The crowd at the Fever game, little girls, families, ladies, nice crowd. You even though it's 100% false, by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was a internet rumor, complete bullshit, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a great crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah, Angel Reese deserved to get her ass booed when she attacked Caitlin on a normal foul. Other than that,
the very fans accused of racism are the same ones who showed up in droves to support their team. So, what's really going on? Is this about racism, or is it about jealousy, control, and a serious dose of bitterness toward the Fever and Caitlin's skyrocketing fame? You want drama? Caitlin Clark is the most polarizing figure since sliced bread in the league. Angel Reese, whether you love her or not, is the league's preferred antagonist, and the Fever fans. Apparently the scapegoats for every ounce of tension that bubbles up. But here's the truth. Without Caitlin and the Fever, the WNBA might still be trying to fill half-empty gymnasiums with free ticket signs and awkward silence. Now it's booming, and the very people who should be celebrating are trying to cancel the party. So while the league dithers, the Fever keeps scoring on the court and in the hearts of fans. Because at the end of the day, no amount of petty drama can stop the real game. Basketball that sells out arenas, sells jerseys, and makes the sport impossible to ignore. Let the Fever play. Let Caitlin shine. And maybe, just maybe, the WNBA will learn that sometimes growth is messy, but it's absolutely worth it.
And to hone their defensive skills last season, in the offseason, Stephanie White made it a point to drill that idea home. I mean, Caitlin Clark talked about upping her defense, and in the offseason, they picked up a lot of key defenders. They picked up Natasha Howard, who is the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and last season, the Connecticut Sun came in first in their defensive rating. So what did the Fever do? They took Stephanie White, they took Keith Porter, they brought in DeWanna Bonner, and they said, we're doing this